Welcome back to the design studio. My name is Kat. I am owner of KatsCreationsNMore, also Kat's Creations Wreaths. It depends on where you find me, website or Etsy shop. Those are the names under which I fall. And tonight we're going to be designing an evergreen, rustic, I call it a deer head wreath, and you'll understand why momentarily. But before we get started, a couple housekeeping rules. If you want to save this tutorial, just simply, if you're on Facebook, click the share button. It'll do a copy paste. It takes it from my page and sticks it on your page, and then voila, you're done. If you are on YouTube, all you have to do is once you're signed into your account is click the save button, and it'll go ahead and save the video to your YouTube account. Also, if you want to turn on live notifications, you want to make sure if you're on YouTube, just subscribe to my channel or click the subscription bell. If you were on Facebook, two-step process. It's not like two-factor authentication, although it feels like it. You want to make sure that you've liked the page, and then those little three dots that are like skip the blue button over to the right-hand side, click those three dots. It'll open up a sub-menu. You'll be able to click, it should be defaulted if you've done everything correct. If not, you're going to want to go ahead and check the box that says turn on live notifications, and then you will want to do that anytime you want to turn on live notifications for anyone you follow on Facebook. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down so you can kind of see where we're headed, and I'm going to go ahead and put some information up on the site for you. I'm just squaring the camera view. I think my husband moved it because I used to be able to get the whole thing in, and every time I want to move it, I don't want my glue pot. I guess it's relevant there, but I used to be able to get the whole thing in here, so I'm going to probably, and I think that's what he did, because looking at it, it looks a little funky, but I think we're good, although it still bugs me. It looks real, right? Okay, so let me go ahead, pull up comments, trying to refresh my screen. There we go. So this design will be really easy in that it's not an awful lot of steps. And I was trying to research everything, and I don't see anything similar. So I think the deer head that I'm using tonight has long been discontinued, kind of like the bear wreath attachment. Lordy, we cannot type for anything today. All right, I'm putting in the website for your information. There's some great valuable stuff there. You'll find some free tutorials that are beneficial for you, like how to clean a grapevine and all this stuff. So this week we're doing deer. So today we're doing deer evergreen, and then Friday we're doing a deer themed grapevine. So with that being said, okay, there you go. Hi Blanche, hi Elizabeth, hi Nancy, hi Jan. As you guys come on in and say hi, we are using a 24-inch evergreen form, and this one I got at Hobby Lobby. Let's see, I was cleaning up my shop, so I want to have something in here. So this was originally $17.99, the form, but I got it half off. So that's kind of what you want to do. So like right now you can get some really good deals on evergreen wreath forms. This one, if you notice, is more than just your standard pine. It also has the white pine already built in. In it already has the noble or balsam picks. So the first thing we're going to do while I'm doing this is we're going to go all the way around the wreath, and we're going to start to fluff this, because this is what it looks like, and it is no way close to 24 inches, and that's because it has been packed for shipping. So you want to physically go in and touch every single piece of pine and redirect them so that you get a pretty full wreath. So every single piece. And the way that I think I'm going to do this one is I think I'm going to do it this way. I want it to kind of arc up, although if I do that, it'll look kind of funky at the top. All right, we'll do it standard way. I was kind of thinking like, I wanted it to kind of look a little bit similar to like a Greek laurel crown, but I guess we'll just do it this way. And then we're going to also come in and we're going to add some additional greenery, even though you might look at this and go, wow, that's pretty darn full. So yes, it is. But the thing that sets out your standard evergreen form is the ability for you to kind of take it to the next level, add some different textures, add some different picks, different colors, and then it creates a visual interesting piece. And I'm going to try to pull all of mine down into the outside. So as you can see, I'm just fluffing. And you'll find that there's some picks that are bent that once you unbend them, you realize how long those really are. If you were going to add lights to this design, you would go ahead and do that after you fluff, because then it opens up all the spacing. You can see all the nooks and crannies where you can place lights. And when it's flat, everything is compressed. But they do that for shipping. So we want to make sure we're taking full advantage of everything inside, making sure it is all ready to go. Okay. And I'm just working my way around. It kind of looks weird to just have these weird, like, large pieces of noble. So you'll notice that I kind of take them and try to tuck them under rather than just let them sit on the top. That just looks pretty unnatural to me. Occasionally you'll find pieces that come off, which is good. It's good that you find them now, instead of trying to put something in and then you're like, ooh, hey, that piece just came off. But it happens. It's normal. Hi, Carol. Welcome. So I have had this wreath attachment for 3, maybe 4 years. And I keep meaning to do the wreath on it, but when I measured this today, it is so large. It is beyond what I feel comfortable shipping. So this is going to be one that I sell locally, just because the wreath attachment is so large. It's a 24-inch wreath attachment, and this is a 24-inch wreath, which tells you an awful lot. I think it measures 9 inches high, just like from the bottom of the table all the way to the tip of the deer's nose is 9 inches. So that is beyond what I want to ship, because then that puts you into the expedited shipping rate, in which your shipping costs could climb to $60 or more, depending upon if you can find a box that big. Because nobody wants to just go and buy, you know, we'd love to be able to just buy one box, but sadly, that's not the case most days. You have to buy like in quantities of 10, or you have to buy like a Home Depot box and then put a bunch of stickers all over it to hide the Home Depot labels. Here's that piece. So I'm going to kind of tuck it in a little bit more so it feels more natural. We're almost done. And this just makes things so much easier when we're adding our picks, adding additional greenery, to know where everything is. And you can see there's a lot of these that are twisted inside. These, don't even know how they got over there to begin with. Hi, Joan. First time catching you live. So happy to see you. Welcome, Gail. I haven't seen you in a long time. Talked to you in a while. So see how these are just kind of all mismatched. And we're just going around. We have some really big picks. It's kind of weird how they put this one together. Because if I had it my way, I think I would. rearrange some of these things. I would not have 2 or 3 white pines together. I'd space them out a little bit better. Okay, they're just about done. Pull these ones down and we should be set. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken these and pushed them all to the outside. I've also taken these nobles and I'm going to bend them in the direction they should be. A tendency, when they're live and still on the tree, they're actually upward, but we're going to go ahead and bend them down so that they fall in line with the rest of what we have going on in our wreath. Okay, so let me show you the wreath attachment. So this is what's going in the center of our wreath. So this is our deer head. So it is called a rustic glam deer decor. So he's kind of like a plaid deer. He's non-movable, so nothing moves on him at all, but I have managed to kind of break free his antlers because I need them to be in a different place than where they are. He does have a foldable red velvet with snow scarf. He has some hair here, but all in all, he is a plaid deer with ears. We have a hanger here, which does not give us an awful lot of hanging options. So we're going to actually go ahead and mount this first. And I'm going to take this hanger and I'm going to go right underneath the form. And then I'm going to take his ears. So this is why I needed his ears down. I actually don't like that. I want to take him down even further. I want to take him way down. So I've got to move. I don't even like that. Let's just bend this. So I want him in the center. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to try to pull him down. He doesn't have an awful lot of really good hanging options. So I need his antlers to sit like so. He needs to be centered and squared right into this wreath design. And so what you can do is you can take this, you can bend this up, you can bend that around, and keep twisting it until it goes around that center piece. It's kind of stuck on the ledge, like so. So there is, you can kind of see where he's centered, squared. I'm so picky. It's kind of where I want him to be, but we're going to have to wire in his antlers because he's free flowing. So if we did nothing else, he would just kind of flop along like so. So let's go, and I have some brown willow wire, and I'm going to wire his antlers in. Hi, Teresa. She said, first time I've caught a live in a long time. Welcome. The deer. 4 years ago, you could order him on Craft Outlet. Now they are elusive, like the deer. They're hard to find. I don't know where you can find them now. So Karen, he was, like I said, I had him from 4 years ago. He just kind of sat in a box, and I was like, My husband liked a deer wreath that I had made a couple years ago, and so we ended up selling that one. And he was disappointed because they stopped making that deer. And I'm not a cutesy person. I don't like cute things. I mean, deer are cute, don't get me wrong, but I'm more along the lines of like real rustic. So he needs to kind of look not cartoonish, but more along the lines of, I guess, he needs to look more real. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm just taking this brown floral wire. It blends in. So I kind of have them wrapped, and I'm just twisting right here. And then I'm going to take where I've twisted it, and we're going to anchor this to the bottom wreath ring. And I'm going to pull him down really tight because I want him in there so he does not move. Yeeks. So real nice and tight. Okay, so now he don't flop around. He is in there. So that's basically what he looks like. He's a very realistic looking deer with his flowing red scarf. So, and he does have like this real faux animal fur, which he definitely needs to have it combed. But he does have super cute ears. You could dress him up a little bit more on the collar portion. I'm kind of squish him back in here. All right, so now that he is in there, we're going to build the bow. The bow is going to go down here at the bottom, and then we'll come up and we'll embellish, rather than putting in additional greenery only to cover it all up and waste the greenery. So I'm going to set him aside, and I'm going to show you the ribbon we're going to use. We're using our Bow Dabra. Because he's got a red scarf, we have to incorporate red, but we're going to do this pine cone. It's got a gold edge. It's pine branches with pine cones, so obviously we're going to be putting pine cones in. We have this hunter green. We have this red with the snowy pines and the deer silhouette. We have a red cranberry. We have a red, it's kind of like a burgundy and tan, gingham, and then we also have pine trees. So these are going in the whole base. So I'm going to lay these out for our bow. I think we'll go here. I'm thinking I don't want to do these to go red. Then if I go green, it's too green. It's like this. I don't like that. Let's put this here. Still end up putting the two together. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. We'll change the order of some things. Kind of like that. I like to break up the solids, so let's do it this way. Okay. So, where'd everything come from? So the first ribbon that I'm using is from Craft Outlet. This is brand new this year, and it's a really good quality ribbon. As you can see, it's the first time using it. We're going to go ahead and cut off the bottom, and we're going to dovetail the end first of all, which is just wire edges together. We're going to cut from the folded side down to the wired point. And we're going to make this one, I'm going to go a little longer. We're going to go, let's go 14 inches. I'm going to do long tails on the bottom for this one. And we're still going to do 5.5-inch loops. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure my Bow Dabra lines up on the 10-inch line, so that when I stretch this out, that's actually like 6 1/4. There is 5.5. And we'll do another 5.5 on this side, hopefully. Nope, that's almost 6 still. There's our 5.5. And then we're going to go all the way out 14 inches. Just because I want little longer tails for a bottom bow, especially on this design. So we're going to keep the loop measurements the same, but the tail measurements are going to go a little longer. Now this one is from hang on, Joann's. So we are doing dovetail end. We're going to bring this one in at 13 because this was 14. 13 inches in. We're going to twist, place that directly inside. Now we're going to go with 5-inch loops. So I always bring it back to the 10-inch line, stretch it out, make sure we're at 5, bring this around, do it again. That's going to come up way short. Let's see. Right there is 5 inches, and remember we're going out to 13. Dovetail end. The nice thing about this design is it can go up from now. It could go up through, you can leave it up year round. This would be a year round design. I'm trying to find my pins. I cleaned up, but I need to make it more accessible for what I want. Since these two are brand new, they're going to need pins. Okay, now we're going to take that hunter green. This is from Joann's. Dovetail end first. And we're going to do this one at 12 inches. Twist, place that inside. And we're going to go with 4.5-inch loops. So we've got to measure and make sure that we're at 4.5, which we are. Do that on the other side. Four and a half. Plus, it's been a while since we've done something different. So, we're doing grapevine and evergreen this week. Okay, so that ribbon is done and down. No, Elizabeth, Steve's not a hunter. Not at all, which I'm grateful for. You said that you love the pictures I share of the deer in the backyard. They're amazing. I love them. She says, you always have beautiful ribbon, which we haven't seen before. So either A, I get them and they're fairly new, or I've had them for a while and just never came up with a design to use that ribbon for. A lot of times I just pick them up. If it's a favorite ribbon of mine, I will pick it up. We're going to do, hold on, 11 inches for this one. I'm bringing the inches up an inch every single time. This one's also going to be 5.5 inches, or 4.5 inches, sorry. So I'm just going to use the measurement of the bottom and kind of put my fingers in both. Give it a tug. Do the same on the other side. Do that here. Put this back on the 10-inch line and then stretch this out to 11 inches. But like the gingham or the pine tree, every time I see them, I'll pick up 2 or 3 rolls because you never know when it'll be the last time that ribbon will ever be featured. Now the gingham will always be featured. This one's from Kringle, the burgundy and tan. And then this burgundy canvas is from Craft Outlet. So I always keep a good stock of solids, gingham, and Swiss dot. And then you can go buy all the pretty patterns because you can interchange that with a solid, a gingham, or a Swiss dot, or all 3 of them. So this one's going to be 10 inches. And we're going to do a 4.5-inch loop. or 4-inch loops, sorry. I was thinking 4, but 4.5 came out. So 4 and 4, and then 10. Okay, out to 10. I have a feeling after tonight, our rivers are going to be flowing. It's sad during the summer because they get down so low that they don't really resemble a river anymore. And so now with this atmospheric river we've had, this is likely going to fill everything back up again. So this pine tree is from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if Hobby Lobby's still carrying it. I think they do. Although now they're not doing letters, they're doing numbers. So we are going to do a 9-inch tail with a 3.5-inch loop. And this will finish off our bow. A very rustic looking bow. So I'm attempting to get that in, out, bring it back. I at least want a tree on the loops. Sometimes though, you can't get them. Just the way the ribbon's positioned when you go to fold that. And we'll go back out to 9. There's that. And then, like I said, this is going to be a downward facing ribbon. So it makes fluffing it super simple. And I know you guys might say, well, you say it's simple, but it's not simple for me. I haven't mastered bow making yet. Try the recipe that I have. I don't have any moss color out here. So grab one of these. Here's our moss green. So I'm going to pick this whole thing up. I'm just going to transfer the ribbon so that I can slide this down. And I'm going to hold it at the bottom, like with a slight twist, and then I'm going to twist the whole thing in the opposite direction. So I'm just holding this and letting it twist, the pipe cleaner. Why I use pipe cleaners over floral wire or zip ties is it's easier on your hands when you get older. Okay, we're going to flip this. We can move this down now because we don't need that up. Okay, we're going to take, and I'm just looping this over that C-hook I have. Since it's a downward bow, we're just going to pull all our tails down. So just find them all, pull them down. Okay. From here, you have your option. You can just lift your top two. If you want to keep the two together, that's fine. You can take the next two. You can pull one out one way and pull the other the opposite direction. You can let that be the standard course, or you can, you could do it this way again, or you can flip-flop them and give it some visual interest. You can go ahead and pull this one inside. It's a little different fluff. Okay, I'm bringing that one up. And then from the ones on the bottom, they generally take all 4 fingers to get in there and give them a really good lift. So I'm going to pull the deer up and the pine cones down here and vice versa here. And then just kind of play with everything that you have. And if you like the way everything is on your bow, you're good to go. If you'd rather do a crisscross, you can do crisscrosses wherever you'd like. Okay, and then the tails, you can just run them through your fingers to put the arcs back through them. It's going to be a little easier to fluff these when we have them on the wreath, but you can kind of get the gist of what it'll look like this way. You can just move them around so that you can see all the colors you have in there. I'm going to flip this around so you can see it. So that is our bow for our deer. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that off. Move my fluff board to the side. We will grab our deer. And this is where we get to cover this up. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, and this is going to go right underneath his neck. So I'm going to work my pipe cleaner down, get it positioned, kind of hold that in place. He's got a really big base too. Okay, so you can see that these will now cascade down from him. When he hangs on the door, it'll have like more of an elongated, almost like a swag-like quality to it. So you can kind of see right there. Here's our deer. Just kind of like that. Yeah, he's got his wild scarf going on. I wasn't sure I wanted to keep a scarf or I wanted to kind of trim that and remove it. I think what I'm going to do temporarily for now is I'm just going to kind of just create little ripples in it for now. There's one that goes directly underneath, so you can just bring that one straight down and then ripple the top. You can tuck it underneath the bottom part of the bow, but then at that point you don't even see that he has a ribbon on his neck. Again, it's going to be designer preference. What you like, what you prefer, what you want. Okay, so from here, we're going to go in and we're going to add in some additional greenery. I want to add in some cedar. At this point, we can kind of take these, now that we know where he's going to go, we can pull some of our pieces in to fill in the center, so it's not so just generic. Just like that. There's a piece right here I can pull. You don't want to pull this one down, it just would look funky. Okay, just like that. So let's go ahead and elevate him even further. So Hobby Lobby came out with cedar. This is the first time I have seen this. It is $3.99, but it's half off. So we are just going to take all of these cedar pieces and I'm going to break them all down off of the initial pick. Let's see how many we get. There's 4, 5, 6, 7. If he wants to come. There we go. That is way too hard for just removing the top pick. But there's that. So I have my glue skillet. It's just, I think you guys can see it if I do it this way. I'm going to try to make it to where you can see these. Let's put this in here. So we're going to add some cedar pieces, the longer ones. Okay. So it's super simple. We're just going to dip it in the glue skillet. And then I'm just going to add these pieces right into the mix, just to add lights and darks to this mix. And I'm going to go down in here. We're going to tuck that in. I'm going to try to pull and pick the glue out as I can. So kind of going kind of inner, kind of outer, going all the way around. Some of them are stuck together. And you can kind of take them and place them. I kind of like where that was. So like I said, just kind of keep it looking as natural as possible. And I'm going to take one of the smaller ones. Here we had, I guess we don't have smalls. Wow, okay. I'm going to go ahead and go in here. So we can have some cedar coming on the interior. And we're going to just go down in here. You can see that that one pick goes a long way for $2. And I love cedar. So like even when I make my fresh evergreen wreaths, I will use sequoia, balsam, Douglas fir, and cedar in all of them, so that it gives you just a touch of something different in the design. Okay, so we've had those. That's what it looks like just adding the lighter pieces of cedar in. And again, Hobby Lobby has your balsam if you want to take those. This runs $3.99 for a big balsam pick. And I've actually just pulled a lot of these off so that I can put them where I want. Just kind of tuck those in. Same thing. Just to give it different dimensions so that you're not just looking at a flat evergreen wreath form. You've got something now with some life in it, not just these. Okay, I'm just kind of going around. It's like these, but now we're adding, it's kind of like a avocado color. Different colors, different textures. Okay. We've got another piece. Let's see if we bring that one in. Kind of like it like that. I don't like the pine so much right at the front, where all you see is pine right in here. Let's add some noble to that. Okay, nice look. So you can see we have already elevated a basic evergreen just by adding the cedar and the noble fir. All right, we are gonna keep to that rustic feeling. We are gonna add some pine cones to this. I'm looking at, I don't want white tipped. Kind of want to put these in as natural as they feel, because that's kind of what I like when I'm looking at a rustic wreath. Just different pine cones placed in various spots. So I have these that came in a giant size bag of pine cones. So we're just going to bury those inside. We'll come back and glue them once we're happy with where they look. So I want to make sure I have some on the top, but also some on the side. Aw, you miss us at Paulina's? I loved being at Paulina's. I still follow her page. I still plan on coming back. Her food is amazing. Okay, we'll tuck this one in, kind of going for a little bit smaller diameter here. Let's tuck this one in. I think we're going to put one here, definitely one up here. So I'm kind of going through and picking out what size I would like. Kind of like that. Maybe not quite so big, like that one there. So we can get a smaller one to kind of tuck in there. Kind of like that. And then I'm thinking we need one, like, not quite so big, like right about there. I think I like that. So I've got those scattered out. So I'm going to glue them all in, one by one. So I'm going to take, and this is what's nice about having a glue skillet, is you can just take and dip them and just rotate them and stick them in. So it's just super nice. Bring it around. That way I'm not dragging it through my skillet and the glue everywhere. It helps if you, as you're pulling out a pine cone, to put your hand right where it was, so you can remember where you need to come back and put that. It's kind of like your finger's the placeholder. And right here. Tuck that one inside. Boop. This is what I like about my glue skillet, is the glue dries so quickly. I can actually just go in, pull it, and stuff it back in there. Okay, gonna let that one go to the outside. This one's gonna lean to the inside. What I should be doing is just this. Move him around. Tuck that in down below. Okay, so now he's all set thus far. Okay, now we need to bring in some more natural elements to this design. So, back to Hobby Lobby. We're going to grab these cranberry colored picks. It's a mix of dark purple and red. So I'm just going to do them in clusters of 3, so that like we would have these 3 here, just simple little clusters. This is where I wish I turned my glue gun on, so I have a little bit more control over what I'd like to do. So every time there's a 3, we're going to cut that off. Again, if you don't know where you want to put them, place them. Just start going randomly around your wreath and look at, hey, where would you like to tuck a little cluster of berries at? So I try to put them next to the pine cones because I think they look more natural that way. So there's that. 1, 2. Shouldn't be using my scissors. I think that at this point that is a wire in there. I'm going to do this one over here because this is a little bit bigger. We'll get a smaller set for here. So just kind of pull them all apart. Like you can tuck those in. I like them to be a little non-intrusive, just so that you can just kind of see little peeps sticking out. This one I only grabbed 2. So let's do this with the short one that I had up here. just with the single 2. Okay. These ones are, sometimes they're stuck together. So I'm going to kind of come in. I'm going to take these 2 because I have a place where I want to put the 2 and then I want to bring in another one. So I'm going to tuck those in. And then I'm going to grab my single. I don't think I want that one though. So just like right underneath, if you can. If you can. Sometimes where the pick is, it doesn't allow you to kind of tuck them up and under. So this pick, $3.99 again, $2 pick. Okay. Just some nice natural berries. I'm going to actually deconstruct the rest of this pick and just randomly start placing these. This one is a no good because sometimes they get painted together and then you're just kind of left with them. Oops. And then we have a single. Okay. But then we can just take these and just kind of tuck them in. This one I'm not thrilled with. I try not to use less than. So just around that. I'm trying to keep it rustic looking. So what does that look like? Well, it would be pine cones, pine berries. You could come in, you could add some cinnamon sticks to these if you'd like. I have a feeling he will end up going into a fundraiser because they're doing a fundraiser out here. And one of my friends likes to say, do you have anything that we could use in the fundraiser? And usually it's things that are a little too big to ship. I will usually donate. Let us add this other one. So I'm just going and doing the outside as well. What other things can you think of that would go really well with this design? You could come in and you can add some rusted ornaments if you had brown, if you had gold. I know right now, because I saw them at Hobby Lobby, what's really big right now is the velvet. So all the velvet pieces. Let me look. I think the bulbs that I originally had pulled are a little too big. We are going to put in some smaller pine cones too, meaning they're much smaller. These would be the ones that you'd find on the end. So they're much, that one's not very pretty, much smaller. So these ones would be found kind of on the ends of those white pines. So wherever you have these big picks in your wreath, I'm just taking these little pine cones and sticking them right on the end, just so that they look, because it just cuts off. There's like nothing there. So it looks kind of unfinished. So this one's got a word bottom to it. So we're just going to Put a little pine cone on there so that it looks complete. So wherever I have those, I'm just going through. Here's another one. Just grab pine cones, plop it right on the end. Because believe it or not, when I walk around our property, we have a lot of pine cones that are just like that. They're at the very, very tips of the branches. Hey you. We're just doing the reindeer wreath.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, were you watching?
I was trying to. It cut out on me a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. So we're just
Hi, everyone.
Decorating. Steve's
Oh,
here.
that's so pretty.
Yes, I figured since I sold your last one, we would just replace it. So this can be up on the door in between all the other changes because it's not Christmas themed, or it'll end up getting sold to a craft fair here locally. So we're just taking and adding the little pine cones right to the end of all these weird pine branches that are just sticking out, and then they're chopped off. So what else do you think would look good on here now that you're here? Everyone's like, hi Steve, hi Steve, hi Steve.
Hi, everyone.
What about some twigs? I did the regular berries.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't want to do the pit berries because those go primitive, and this isn't so much primitive, whereas it's more mountain cabin-esque.
That was good. Antlers look good.
Yeah, he got smashed. He's a little too big to ship.
Is he?
He's 9 inches from here to the bottom. Yeah, he's too big. He's a big boy. Okay, so I'm looking for suggestions. So you guys came up with some. I'm looking to see what's in the rustic bin. Let me look over here. Do we have any? I was looking to see if I had any rustic. I have a couple of rustic bells. We can add rustic bells. And I can pull these from our picks too. So I do have some metal bells that we can put on there. He needs a serious hair comb. Like, really serious. So we can add in some bells. Let me grab the other picks. I saw where you put them. Wrong spot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I found them, but I was like, oh, that's not what I said.
Hold, please.
Hold, please.
Hi, everyone.
And I'll grab the ornaments.
Beck said, does it really need anything else? Well, I could always use a little embellishments. She loves putting embellishments on.
He doesn't need anything else.
Yeah.
But it's always fun. So I have these. So we have all these giant metal bells from the picks that we kind of deconstructed yesterday, which I love because they're a little bit fancier than these ones. They kind of they look nicer. So I'm just going to unscrew them, pop the wires off the top, and I like these kind of just tucked under, like I'm going to put one down under here. So I'm tucking one under. Okay. So I've added one down here. I have 3, which is perfect. I like doing odd quantities. Oops. So I'm thinking maybe like, I wanted it up here. Like I wanted it kind of like that.
Put in both styles,
Yeah, I know. We could do that. We could put another one in here and then put another one. There's this last one right here. Just helping us deconstruct this pig, which was our primitive pig.
You have it in the middle of the bow.
Huh?
You have it in the middle of the bow.
No, I do not. We can put one in the middle of the bow. We can. Let me look. So you can put one there if you'd like. We can kind of tuck that one in like that. So let's go ahead. I'm always trying to just do the metal part, not where you have opening, because I don't want to glue the little metal bell inside so that that is stuck. But I want to see the artistic part of that bell. Okay. Move those over. It's always funny when they put the weird bows on them. Okay, you wanted a bell in the center. So we're doing that one right in the center. Okay. So he'll kind of lightly jingle. We don't want him to jingle too much. Let me just use my stick. I'm getting a little too close to the glue for where I'm comfortable. There's that. And then we'll tuck this one in. Probably right there. I'm looking, what about something the deer like? Well, that's anything green and plant-like.
Yeah.
They eat anything. They eat.
That's what the berries are there for.
Right. And it's like, it would be flowers, hostas, leaves. They
Apples.
love apples. Yeah. Ooh. I'm trying to think, do I have any frosted apples?
I think it's good with that.
You don't want to add apples? Do you think we should add these?
You can try.
I brought these over because I got these last year for the color palette. This is the color palette I love, which is browns, burgundies, golds. So let's look at the browns. What's this? And that is from, I'm looking, Walmart, believe it or not. So we can, these look nice actually. Like, look how good that looks.
Yeah.
Tucked in there. Yeah, I like the darker colors in.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like that would have to go in there. I don't know that I would like the red. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think so, red?
Yeah. What do you guys like? You guys think? You think the red?
I'm pulling it over to look so I can see it in the bigger. So like, we can put this one over here because those are the colors. Green, like we can add that.
I think just the red and the brown are good.
The red and the brown.
Yeah.
If we had a hunter green, that would be perfect. So I'm just taking the tops off because if you don't, the ornaments will generally let go at the hook part. This part will stay in the wreath, and then this part, for some reason, will pop off, and then you just have this glued in. So I like to take them off and then just kind of tuck these in. So we have just some visual. So this is something where we don't have See, Janie says, my imagine sees as a shiny fruit. They could be. Frosted apples, right? The red could be frosted, frozen apples.
I think that's really all you need. You just need a couple of them to throw the pot.
Yeah. I think I'll put one down here and maybe one at the top, and then that'll be it. Because I had the velvet ones all picked up that I wanted to use. I'm trying to get this to actually hold my ornament in until it dries. So I'm using one of those. I kind of like that. So I have one more of these. I could do one more of these. So I'm thinking we add the red. I don't want to do this up there because then it looks like it's hanging off of his antler.
Yeah, hang off the antler.
No, no hanging off of the antlers. So we can tuck this one in down here. Or down here. I think down towards the bottom further. And then, because I have this big opening with the cedar, so I'm just going to fill it with that brown ornament. I think the dull, even though it's shiny, it's not a high gloss because it's textured. Okay, so I'm going to take these.
We're going to make sure it doesn't show over the horns. Right?
Huh?
The antlers.
What do you mean?
Just like tucked over the antlers.
What are you talking about?
The ball.
I can put it there. Because there's one right here. Where were you thinking? So where I put it, you said no.
Yeah,
and then, let's see. I'm looking in the picture. I feel like it needs to be there. Because when I take it away, it looks like it's missing. Okay. So he's all situated. He's all there. He's all done. We're done. You could come in and you could add cinnamon sticks to this. You could add orange slices, like dried orange slices. I don't have any. Not really cloves, because those are just, they'd get lost. You wouldn't be able to see them.
If you wanted it for the smell.
Yeah, if you were doing it for fragrance. Yeah. But let's put him up on the door so you can see him in all his glory. So I'm flipping him up. Right, slices of apples would be good. And I have mini apples. I just don't know where they are. And I would want them to be more matte, more muted color, not bright red. And I think the ones I have are bright red. They're not the muted ones. Kind of like when I look at him sometimes, it looks like a goat because I don't know what it is. I'm straightening his bow. But yeah, it is straight. Look at your phone. You'll see it in your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have all his ribbons down below. You can leave them like that. You can do a slight curl in them. And just curl them around your finger. And have them have a slight curl.
It says, I love Rustic Creations. This is beautiful. Plant said, I love him.
Aw, thanks.
This is beautiful.
So we're just putting a slight little curl in the ribbon. I'm just kind of curling it around my finger so it's like a finger curl. It's like how we do it like this. We're kind of getting that curl going. But we don't want to curl too much. We just want to curl the very ends. You can curl as much as you'd like. I usually just get them going and let them go. Just so it gives some interest. And we'll fix his scarf. He's got a wild scarf going on. Get this one. Oop, we missed this one. So we've got little curls in his thing. So his scarf, like I said, we can pull him up, curl it, bump it up again, and curl it. But we don't want him to get in the way of our ribbon. So I'm just kind of bumping up his scarf. So he's got a nice little look. And making sure he's all where he needs to be. But there you guys have it. Is it straight, Steve?
Right there, straight. You have to zoom in.
Okay. I will zoom in. Whoop. He looks good with the backdrop, right? He does, Blanche. Yeah, he's straight. He's got like weird horns. He's got one that kind of goes this way, and he's got that one.
Well, deer too.
But yeah, no deer's horns. Trust me.
Right.
We've seen it enough time. No deer has asymmetrical horns. We have ones that have 3 points on one side and 2. Some are twisted. Some are what they call a spike. It doesn't even have a horn. It's facing backwards. It's just weird. So there is our deer who is all ready. And like I said, you can use him year round because he is not locked in to a holiday based on anything that we have added. He's got just generic ribbon that can go any time of the year. If you wanted to come in and maybe pop in some light, like maybe a matte gold would be appropriate. I wouldn't use silver on him. I wouldn't add anything icy or snowy because the rest of it isn't icy or snowy. Even though he's got like frosted kind of antlers going on, I would kind of like steer clear of that unless you're going to do that all throughout the whole design. If you're going to do all frosted, then do the whole thing frosted. If you're going to do all snow, then do all snow. But that's...
Georgiana asks, how can I get notified that I'm on your live?
I
think you have to click on it, right? And then you click on the video, click on the 3 stars.
So you want to make sure that you have clicked the like button for the page. And then make sure directly across from the like, there's like a blue button and then there's 3 little dots. Click those 3 little dots and make sure it'll open up another little box. It's like a sub-menu box. Make sure it says turn live notifications on. You just need to check that box. Right. And then you should be all set. But you have to be on your phone when I go live. Otherwise, it doesn't alarm. There's no alarm. There's nothing that flags you that says cats on, cats on.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on the iPhone. I just tap the video really quick. In the bottom right, I get 3 dots.
Yeah.
And then turn on live notifications.
Yeah. So Steve's got that too. So that's exactly what you need to do, Georgiana, in order to get notified. All right. Don't forget, come back on Friday. We are doing a grapevine deer inspired Christmas design, which again does not have to be specific to Christmas, but because of the greenery that we're utilizing, it feels more Christmassy, but it can be left up all year round, just like this. All right, everyone, have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.